Listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to greed.
Absolute.
Silence, you Thinkertons! I summoned you here because the world is about to end.
No, it isn't. What are you afraid of? Global warming? AI? Some sort of plague? Some sort of plague?
Now, here's a funny video that Tom Hanks' son put out mocking truth seekers and defending his dad.
Hey guys, I'm really stressed out right now. It's been coming to my attention that a lot of Trump supporters have been figuring out the truth about me and my family, you know, being in the, you know what I'm talking about? And I don't know what to do right now because everything's starting to come to light. I mean, these extremely reliable websites like 4chan, 8chan have been exposing shit. And it's like, if somebody wrote it on the internet, you know it must be true, and it is true. So it's like, I don't know how this is gonna affect our whole New World agenda. Ever since The Simpsons predicted my dad being the spokesperson for the coronavirus, even though they didn't predict anything.
Oh, I'm Tom Hanks. The U.S. government has lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine. This is Tom Hanks saying, if you're going to pick a government to trust, why not this one?
After I started researching the occult, I learned that Satanists believe that they have to reveal who they are in some way, shape, or form. So that is why we see a lot of these occult members in Hollywood constantly flaunting symbolism. We see the pyramid, the Illuminati pyramid a lot. We see the evil one eye constantly. It's always on the cover of magazines. We see these are supposed to be the 666.
It's been troublesome, to say the least. I guess I'm just gonna have to work extra hard at my human sacrifices. I'm late for one right now, and I'm a little hungry, so I might eat someone's pineal gland on the way. But just know that we're watching you, and if you're talking shit on the internet, you're gonna be the first people sent to the FEMA camps. So,
This is from a video that I had uploaded on October 31st, 2018. Take a look, see what you think. This is listed as just a training exercise by the U.S. government, but the Center for Disease Control also did a preparedness plan. And look at the references that are used from the U.S. government for their training exercise. World War Z is listed as a reference used.
All right, welcome back. Time for your shot of the morning. Government health officials want you to be ready for a zombie invasion like the one in Michael Jackson's Thriller video. You heard right. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention posted a guide called Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. The CDC says the guide can be used in any emergency situation.
After I started researching the occult, I learned that Satanists believe that they have to reveal who they are in some way, shape, or form.
Getting treatment. How many of you were sent home from the emergency room? All of you. You brought your paralyzed children into the emergency room.
And were sent home. 3 times I was sent home. Yes, twice we were sent home.
I was told to bring him back in 4 days if he wasn't better. In 4 days, his diaphragm had stopped working and he would have died.
Declining an on-camera interview, a CDC doctor got on the phone with us and said the messaging about AFM could be more effective.
The CDC is not rising to its potential in this particular case. We feel that they're not playing their A game on this.
That the agency has been hesitant to focus research efforts on the particular virus they say evidence indicates is the cause of AFM.
Breaking news coming out of New Jersey. There are 6 children that are dead following a severe viral outbreak at a rehabilitation center in New Jersey. They don't know what strain it is. This is a strain they've never seen before. The health department says this outbreak is particularly severe because it's affecting the medically fragile children with severely compromised immune systems. The strain has been particularly associated with disease in communal living facilities. And
they are so naive. They think we are not aware of their crimes. We know.
The department said that the combination of the worst strain of an adenovirus together with a fragile population is a recipe, folks, for a severe outbreak. Now, so they're like quarantined. It's like being in a toxic environment with no hope. And so,
but this is no longer just a case in Africa and America. This is global. Think of how fast this can travel. Here's an article that was published in 2015, and it was a study done on viruses and bacteria. And there was an interesting part that was pointed out in this article, and it stated that there was an African dust transport, and that this dust was transported from the African desert to the Caribbean, which is where the Dominican Republic is located.
Now to the growing mystery in the Caribbean, where 3 Americans have died within just days of each other at a luxury resort. 41-year-old Miranda Shop Warner passed away on May 25th at a hotel in the Dominican Republic. 5 days later, at the same resort, Edward Holmes and Cynthia Ann Day were found dead. Officials say all 3 died of respiratory failure, and there were no signs of foul play. The State Department says right now it is not aware of any connection between the 3 deaths.
Now remember, there was a new Ebola virus that was discovered in July of 2018. By using the Earth Null School site, you can see particulate matter in the atmosphere. I was looking up information and saw that viruses are less than 1 micron in diameter. So I decided to see if I could notice anything on this site. And here we are looking at particulate matter in the atmosphere over Africa. Look at the pattern. This particulate matter is less than 1 micron in diameter, which viruses would be in that category. Look where the pattern is showing compared to the current outbreak map.
Another mystery surrounds the death of an American husband and wife on a dream vacation in the South Pacific. David and Michelle Paul traveled to Fiji and then suffered from an unknown illness. They died within days of each other. Davis told relatives both of them got medical treatment and were released by doctors, and now their family is demanding answers. Health officials say a small number of people who came in close contact with the couple in Fiji are being monitored as a precaution. They say the cause of death is still unknown, but the flu has been ruled out.
The other 3 patients include a police officer and 2 security guards. Said they tried to visit her daughter in the hospital, but they were told no visitors were allowed into the rooms. They watched her through the glass window from outside. At this point, we are not aware of any specific public health threat to the community. If they're not worried really about a public threat, why do they have them quarantined? Why is the CDC involved?
People see these facts and they say, my gosh, I didn't know that. My gosh, and they go in, they check it out, and it's all true, and now they're seeing the dots. How to practice critical thinking to analyze what you're watching.
What I'm saying is this. In the last show, I presented to you the history of something called the Alliance. It goes back, in Russia, it actually goes back 300 years. They've been trying to defeat this so-called Illuminati. Here in the U.S., it's been going on since the Korean War, which is from 1950 to 1953. This was when, again, American generals were forced to report their troop positions to the United Nations, and they found out that if they told the United Nations where the troops were going to go, there was an ambush and they all got killed as soon as they arrived. So the American generals realized that the United Nations was actually killing off our soldiers, and they're supposed to be our allies.
My face above the water, my feet can't touch the ground, and it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon every time you are not around. I'm slowly drifting away, wave after wave, wave after wave. I'm slowly drifting, and it feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream.
Is the enemy of these sorts of things. In fact, fear drives epidemics by making people do things that don't make sense. They mistrust information, they don't believe things that they hear. And
bringing awareness does not mean fear or spreading fear. It is simply bringing awareness to subject matter. Thank you for watching, and much love to you all.
Listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please, stop listening to greed.